What up, Queens and Kings? This is your boy, the Black Gandalf, coming at you with this music magic of your Quiet Storm hours. What's happening, Beyond?
Man, ain't nothing much. What's that old saying? Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
I think that's
that real country slang. That's that. Look, I'm about to go talk to the old man about a horse or whatever that's saying.
Why it gotta be a horse?
I don't know.
Are you discriminating against us country?
Am I saying that wrong? I don't feel that.
Y'all, I don't know that one. I'm country and I don't know that one. He got me confused, y'all. But nah, I'm good. It's good to be back. How you feeling?
We great over here, man. We good. You know, it's a little bit of struggle, but hey, I had to get that straightened, just like me go. So we in here.
I was like, my brain was like, me go straight, and then I instantly thought about it. Straight, and I was just like, why would he do that? I don't care for that song.
Yeah. But Queens and Kings, that was your track of the evening, coming from Amy Winehouse. What is it about men? Coming off her debut album, Frank. Whenever I first heard of her album title, Frank, I was like,
What your mind first went to? Knowing that she's a jazz singer.
I didn't think twice on it. It didn't even cross my mind until I just did my research, and then it got to the song to where I think it was the second track of the album, and then that's when she was talking about how she was a big Frank Sinatra fan, and I was like, ha ha,
Frank Sinatra.
And then it was several songs after that to where she would, like she'll just be talking about Frank, and then like, I know Frankie's in the box, but I don't care. And I was like, okay, that's Frank Sinatra. So
he's still here. I'm sorry, side note, but I had before I left my other job, I had an Uber, and the guy, he was really, really nice. And on my ride over here, he was playing Frank Sinatra.
Oh, fast. Will you remember what song?
No.
So.
But I know Blue Eye's voice. I know the voice. And I was sitting there, and I was texting on my phone, and I was like, is this Frank Sinatra? He was like, yeah.
Frankie.
He said, what you know about that?
Man, what he know about that? Why is that always the first question?
I mean,
like, man, what you know about that, youngster? Like, man, what you know about that?
Most older people, especially, and not trying to call nobody out, y'all, but like most older people and most older white people, they get a bit surprised when I say that I know Frank Sinatra or that I enjoy watching old videos of Fred Astaire and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm a vintage person. I like that stuff. I love gold in Hollywood.
And that's what Amy Winehouse gave to the world, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And like, what is it about men? What was it about this song that brought it to your attention?
For me, definitely for me, it was not only did I just enjoy the production of, obviously you feel the jazz, but you also get the aspects of the hip hop.
Real jazzy.
And I absolutely
like that's where you were
it.
Connected from Frank Sinatra. Like,
yes.
She was really set back way beyond her time. Like, and that was your ad libs to this Quiet Storm journey of the evening.
Thunder. Nah, but yes, I loved just the production of it, the lyrics, of course. I love me some vulnerability. Facts. That attracted me. And then, of course, as I got older, what made me even more so attracted to it, as you get older, with what comes with more years is more experience and more things that you
connect your stories with her.
Exactly. And I felt that because I actually started to have experiences of my question of why am I allowing my value or my, like she said, my destructive side has grown a mile wide. And I asked myself again, what is it about men? Because just to be a little candid, I was very dependent on substances, and I didn't like I said, I went through I had a bender during my unofficial breakup, but my ex had got married on me, y'all.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, he got married on me, y'all. He left me. Give me some.
but look, you got a win at the end.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I got me a golden wins. But that goes to show you that stuff happens for a reason. Stuff is cleared out of your path to make way for things that you actually do deserve. So the universe always does have your best intention. Plus, I was young anyway. But yeah, he got married on me, y'all. He went to the army and then got married on me. But whatever. Whole ass. Anyway, but yeah, like that really hurt. And in other experiences that I had with, because my relationship wise, my dating seriously is very, very short. I've only seriously dated 3 men, and everybody else was just like maybe people that were like hopefuls or just fuck buddies and cuddy buddies and stuff like that. But even still, I just noticed that my value, for some reason, I put my value with how the opposite sex, or at least for me, lovers, affected my self-esteem. And then when I went back to revisit Frank, it's like like with any experience that you have, the lyrics had a different meaning. It was like, yes, I enjoyed the production, of course, she being one of my major influences, but now I felt it because I felt as if I've lived it.
Facts. So those were like connecting personal issues to another one's personal issues, which Amy Winehouse strictly gave on this album, Frank. She said nearly majority of these songs were self-written and definitely personal. So coming from our sources of genius.com, Queens and Kings, it here says, what is it about men? It's a gut-spilling song about Amy's feelings towards her own father. Which you could kind of connect those lines to the first lines of the verse whenever we get to the music commentary section. So it then goes to say she feels she's bound to end up becoming a mistress to a married man in the future. The same way her father had a mistress while growing up. Now, I feel like we all kind of been subjugated to being around those actions of somebody around our life. And not knowing at the time, just because we youthful, we growing up and we seeing these things unfold as we grow into life, is like, it'll help you really understand this song more than you should really understand it. And again, on a personal level, if you've been through that story, if you've been through that experience in life, then it's always great to have, but to know that somebody have a song like this out there in the universe that just really connect with your situation. So whenever you just need something to really cope to, you can just be like, you know what, Amy Winehouse got a good little track.
Like what is it about me? Like she, like that's someone, I'm not alone. Like that's somebody else. But even piggybacking off of the section that you just read, in the planting, because I just had like another thought about like her response in this from the article from Genius. And a lot of times and that goes back to like the power thing of thinking that, because at the end of the day, our parents are our first examples, and some people can either choose to go in their same footsteps, facts. Or they can choose to be completely opposite of them. It's completely your choice.
We're never taught to be that lead in our own story. We're never taught in the first place that this is your life, this is your world. You construct it how you want to. You are the narrator. But you know, there's some families out there, what you were saying, that's like, oh, I already have a set plan for my son. I already have a set plan for my daughter. Like,
they start planting they start to project what they want for you. And the thing about it is, like, nothing's wrong with you wanting the best for your kids. Facts. But if what they want and what they desire is not the same as yours, it doesn't mean that you have to bash it or make them feel bad for the things that they want. But in going back and you reading that, I feel like in a way it was a way for her to take back power in her own way, because right here when you read she feels she's bound to end up becoming a mistress to a married man in the future. That's funny to me. She didn't feel like her husband or whoever she would end up with would cheat on her, for her in a protective way. And, you know, I could feel that, because a part of myself during my thought phase, I felt that. You can't. My appointments. You can't hurt me if you have no full access to me. If I am the mistress, there's no family here for you to break.
Facts.
There's no commitment here for you to break. I can be as scandalous or as free as I want to be because I am the mistress. You can go. And a part of me kind of almost feels her because during my thotty phase, when all I wanted was just the D, I didn't want no relationship. Like, I told him straight up, like, I would tell my appointments. I would tell my appointments that, hey, I know what this is. You know what this is. Just keep communication. However, if you find somebody that you into and you want to go and you want to start going further, don't come back over here because I'm not with that girlfriend drama. I'm not with that none of that. So, but at the end of the day, I knew that I actually did have a situation where there was this one guy that I had frequent appointments with. And one time he was texting me, and I'm a person that pays attention to detail.
Observe.
He can't text.
Oh,
like, he's one of those people that don't spell out
your definition. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I personally, there are a few things that I text in text format, but you see my text. Majority of the time, I text you the full words.
Well, like, hold on, I'm not really the big texter. I feel like I need to call besides texting.
Well, I'm not talking about like calling or texting, like the ways of communication. I'm talking about the style.
I'm trying to.
The style of texting.
What type of
some
style
people?
is he doing?
Some people spell out. Some people can't spell. Some people make their own words up, and some people text like it's like HEY WBY LMFAO. Like they keep like, but no, right, but you know, like they, like, you know, like they got a hyena over here. She like, what you got to say? No, it's because no, I use those words. I use like text formats sometimes, but majority of the time, y'all will see that I text out my words completely. That's just naturally how I text. He texts incorrect words, cannot spell, that never puts anything in a complete sentence. I'm sorry, yeah, I'm a literary bug, so sometimes that get on my nerves. He can't text. So randomly, I remember, and it was early. That was another thing. I know when people mostly text. Like, I know we're gonna hear from Dre early in the morning. I know it.
Damn.
I know come like 9, between 8 and 9 a.m. I'm gonna have text from Dre on our hyena family group chat.
Chat.
I already know. Even my boyfriend now, like, he don't text me early in the morning. When Trey finally moving around, he'll text me in the afternoon, or he's working. So it's like, no,
man, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up.
This dude was the exact same way. Normally, he would not text. He don't text you early in the morning. I woke up to a text at like 8, 9 a.m. That was not like him. And then it was complete sentences, including the correct punctuation marks. I was like, this ain't him. And they was asking me like a bunch of he was asking me a bunch of questions, and I would leave the text for like a while because I didn't care. I don't have no obligation to you, and I got stuff that I'm doing. So
see, that's the problem with texting with me. Like, it's the space that you can give in between just a text and then come back whenever you just feel like. I'd be like, hell nah, bro, I ain't trying to talk no more.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. But it's like, if I have something I need to talk to you about, or something I need full detail about that I'm not getting a text, I'm gonna call. But so I just knew that it was weird. I knew that it was different. And then because I didn't text, I literally just left my phone. I just went do something in my apartment, and I came back to my phone, and all of a sudden I had like 12 messages, all from him. And I was like, this is definitely not him, because he don't do that. Like, he does not blow up my phone like that. And all of a sudden it's, do you know that he got a girlfriend? And do you know that he got a baby on the way? I was like, bitch, no. I didn't even answer.
I was about to say, my nigga was singing, he was rapping. What was he doing? Goddamn.
That's just the way the text was written. And because I didn't respond, I guess they took that as a, like, first of all, I've never been the one to attack the other person, because majority of the time the other person does not know. And like, I did not know. I was like, what? I was laughing, to be completely honest. And I know like she probably was going through her own stuff, but baby, you blowing up the wrong person. Then go sit there and put on, he got you on the block list so I can't see your stuff. I was like, you need to confront your dude, not me. I didn't know nothing about you. I'm sorry, but I genuinely didn't know anything about you. And so but it's so crazy, like when you are the person that's not committed, you are just, because he earnestly was just, at least in my world, a single man who was a fuck buddy to me. And
so not being fully committed, you would connect that to the lines to where she says she feels
that she'll be a mistress, because it's like, what emotional connection do you have, unless you like a full on, like, you know, maybe the dude having like a whole second life with you type of mistress. But the thing about being a mistress and taking your power in that way, whatever you do outside of our shit don't affect me.
Fact.
And if you bring your baggage at the door, again, that's not going to affect me, because I have no idea of a future with you. I'm not looking, you are nothing but physical to me.
Damn.
So it's like when she approached me with that drama, I literally did not even flinch. Now, did a part of me feel like, oh damn, I feel bad for you, but what the fuck I'm gonna do?
In Houston or the boot?
Boot.
Ooh.
The boot.
I'm already knowing how that conversation went. Shit. Drew, you was not humble during that conversation. You can't be talking up here like you were just humble out there in the boot.
I was. No, I don't do that back and forth. I've never been a back and forth like
1-800 choke down.
No, I've never been that way. Nah. And then like after he tried to text me, I'm like, I'm sorry. I was like, what the hell you apologizing to me for?
Hell no.
You need to go apologize to the one carrying your kid, not me.
God damn.
Like, I don't know what you apologize to me for, but I tell you what, you ain't got no access to me no more.
Ooh.
With that bullshit. And like, man, you know you are. I was like, nigga, I got like 3 others.
Nah, you can't cut that move no more. You can't be that. You still won't.
You know you nah, because your replacement came the same day that all this happened. Had a new interview lined up. But in that, I know I got y'all all sidetracked and stuff, but in that, I see where you have that power in being the mistress, because I'm not, like I said, unless you're one of those mistresses that, well, most mistresses know what it is though. Mm-hmm. But majority of the time, it's at least in my perspective, I'm not going to say for everybody, but in my perspective, it's easier to have less emotional ties when you're the other person.
That's that married life though. You know what? I feel like I wasn't really thinking about an after show, but like if I had to put a topic on the after show, just for a little fun discussion, it would be what I asked the group that one random morning, man. I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and they asked the question. Well, I'm gonna branch off on this, and then I'm gonna get back into this about for the track of choice. Yeah. And the question was, is the relationship over if the marriage proposal was declined? And that was a funny ass discussion on the Breakfast Club. I was like, let me hit my group with this shit and see how we branch off.
I was mad. I couldn't text on it as much because the job I got, the new job that I have, I can't be on my phone all the time. So I think when you sent it, all I had was enough time to send the thinking emoji. Because
I'm gonna pop up on that randomly around the group. We gonna discuss that.
Could probably do it during the picnic.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I'd be fucking down for that. Yeah, because that is interesting. Because really, if you had an intimate discussion about it and like the person didn't like publicly like humiliate you by walking away and saying no, then a part of me can feel like that's salvageable.
I feel like during that portion of the episode, they said dude proposed on him, I think a stage or in public, and old girl literally ran off. And I was like, oh damn, my man had to pick up his heart, his soul, his face.
And this is just like, me from a personal me on a personal, I would say no. Because to me, there are some people that do it lighter. Like they'll accept it in public, but probably push it back, or
that's fine.
That's fine, but completely running away and freaking embarrassing the person in public eye. And it's like, I also can feel like if the other person who was getting proposed to felt bombarded.
I mean, like, on the other perspective, it's communication.
It's all communication. Yeah.
You like, if I know I'm going to plan something like this, the way, I don't want to really throw my sauce out there like that, but it's like, it's like I would probably plan it 2 years ahead, and whoever wouldn't even know. Yeah. It would be, I want to save this. This is real, like, that's interesting. That's a good topic. I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah. And you should oh my God, we could probably like record it.
Facts.
On one of our phones.
I want to talk about that. I want to tell that whole little script of mine on just like.
Shit, if we don't just put that on like IGTV or something.
Fact. I'm gonna have to look on that.
I'll be down.
But look, Queens and Kings, to finish off the about section before we hop over to the commentary, Amy says she feels it's her fate to repeat the cycle and do this herself to another man's family because of her father. So that goes back to me saying, no, there's a normal saying, you're a product of your environment.
Yeah.
And with that, she was just a product of her genes,
or what she felt,
her family,
of how she
felt. Exactly.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you still have complete control. But then again, to say that she feels that it's her fate to repeat the cycle and do this herself to another man's family, it's so interesting to me that it's not, I'm going to repeat what my mother went through, and I be the one. He's like, I'm going to repeat, because to her, at least in my opinion,
it might seem like a basic story. It might seem like, I know what women go through. I know how they.
She probably saw that as the most powerful role.
As the man, to have that choice of, not really a choice. Everybody got a choice, but
why would you want to be, especially, okay, in that perspective?
That was power to her.
That was power to her. Why would you want to be the one that got shitted on? I'm gonna do the one that do the shitting. Like, fuck that. No.
My mama over there crying. She doing all the boo-hooing in, but my pop's over there getting it in, living his best life.
And you know what? Even though he's having a strained relationship with his family, but I see that this bitch over here doing fine. So it looked like that's the golden role, the mistress.
There's a time in my life to where I always heard this saying, I can always act like my daddy, but I don't choose to. Excuse me, what the hell you mean you trying to do? So I could connect that past scenario with this on levels of, you got to see, well, you don't really have to see, but at the time, if you just want to, just look at your parents secretly and be like, now, which one of them was really on the power tip whenever I was younger? I had to throw some sauce on that, I'm gonna keep that to myself.
I feel like, I don't care, so I'm gonna say I think all parental figures, to me, because of course I have my birth mother and my stepmother brought me up along with my father. I had, and that probably explains like the kind of some of the personality that I have. Damn. They all are very fucking strong-willed. Nobody is a weakie. Nobody wanted to submit. Nobody wanted to do anything like that, because my especially my stepmother. Loyal. My stepmother is very I would say my stepmother is probably the most impressionable, or had been the most impressionable. I mean, she was the most consistent figure in my life, and very strong-willed. Okay, nobody shut her up. Like, she gonna talk, she gonna say what she want to say, when the fuck she want to say it, cuss like a sailor, and still try to say the Lord working with me. Like, whatever. And she fight. She will fight back. She don't care if you a boy, girl. She don't care. Anybody can get these hands. Like, she don't care. My father, although very, he's like the strong, silent type. You know what? My daddy's sneaky.
And that's on the boot.
My daddy's very strong-willed, but he's very sneaky with it, very silent. People will underestimate my father, which I think aids with me as well, with people underestimating stuff that I'm actually really capable of. I mean, my father's nickname is Killer. And then you have my birth mother, who is the wild card. Wild from the rooter to the tutor. If she tell you she gonna knock you out, she gonna definitely knock you out. You better run. My birth mother is 1-800. Choke that hoe. Stomp her in the streets. She fights dudes too. She takes no shit either. Very strong-willed, and along with her husband as well, Lalo is very, very strong-willed. So a lot of I have not had anybody in my life that was a take shit type of person. So it was, and like you said, seeing that actually does make you see the role. So I guess I had no choice. I had no other option of being, because even though I was still very quiet and stayed to myself a lot, but I had to learn to have a very tough skin early on. So
that's the mad opposite with me, but like that's straight facts. This is definitely like the end portion of the about section that we could really just go forward on, besides the fact of them saying, if you just wanted to see a live performance on this track choice, you could go on YouTube, look up the North Sea Jazz Festival in 2004, to where you could see her really give confirmation to which this song is about her father, Queens and Kings. But man, it's so good to be back. Like going through mental health shit. Like,
take care of you.
You feel me? I ain't want to make this podcast seem like it was just really work. When I say it was really a safe haven for me in the beginning. I feel like I was kind of losing that for really putting myself on a strict hand. It was going down a bad path, but I was really going to still keep going, but just on my own pace. But I got to keep it going. Just seeing all this shit that I already built up, and seeing the growth that's just came about. I can't end it on this note. I guess, you feel like if you really want it, then you really gotta bring it all on this shit. So,
and what your experience is very normal. So don't let that feel like you're lacking. It's very normal. As a matter of fact, I was listening to I don't know if it was a podcast, but Trey was actually listening to some business people talking about startups and how you will feel that doubt in the beginning in anything that you do. But like you said, if it's something that you're really passionate about, which I can tell that you're very passionate about this, you're going to keep going. Like, don't let that doubt you. Y'all, I'm about to get him a poster, because they got this saying that I've been telling everybody since we all met: find joy in the journey. Don't lose yourself in the, like, getting wrapped up in time. Focus on the journey. Like, in a matter of months, like, even though, I already had like this microphone, and he talking about, you can't be humble about this microphone and stuff. But I kept telling him, like, I have one, like, literally in a matter of a few months. Like, who you said popped up on our radar? South Africa. So it's like, we everywhere. We international. And, I wish, I understand though, like, you chose to invest in stuff like that. But dead ass, I passed a booth at Comic Palooza of other podcast people. And they was like, dude, just find joy in the journey. They said, just enjoy yourself. Just post your content. Fuck them numbers. Fuck them ratings. Even though we appreciate y'all, we really do.
Big facts. We wouldn't really even be this far if it wasn't for the
y'all. Yeah, we appreciate, and it shows that there's support. And the thing about it is, like, if you have to take time, like, that's okay. Nobody's gonna downplay you for that. You got nothing but utmost support. You know that.
And that's all raps, no cap. You know the vibes, Queens and Kings. We'll be right back at you with this next portion of the music commentary from our third person opinions. This is The Vibes, a new wave. Skew.
Bars. Welcome back, kings and queens. Of course, we're going to start our commentary section for Amy Winehouse's.
I think it's funny how whenever we started off, I started off as queens and kings, and you started off as kings and queens. That's live. That's live. I'm just not noticing.
I didn't even realize I did that. I just did it. I'm just talking.
That's a bit my bag. Queens and kings. Go ahead and continue.
All right. So like I said, kings and queens. Let me stop. Anyway. Yes, we're now at our commentary section for the wonderful song from Amy Winehouse's debut album, Frank, What Is It About Men? And we're going to open up with verse 1. The lyrics begin as, understand, once he was a family man, so surely I would never, ever go through it firsthand. How do you feel when you hear that, Dre?
From what it really based off of is the fact of this song is about her father.
From his actions.
From his actions. And on a relatable note, her father said that if anything of this song related to him from any lines, it would have to be these first lines. So everything after that is just Amy's theory and her own thoughts of,
or like her experience.
Yeah, but how more so she's foreshadowing her actions.
Yeah.
Aside from those first lines, strictly aiming for her father of understand once he was a family man until he just found a little side piece.
But you know, with her also having the second line that says, so surely I would never ever go through it first hand. Like I didn't have to experience it myself. All I had to do was see the results of what his actions caused. So now that I know I will never, ever go through this firsthand, I will never allow myself to then be the victim that my mother was. And that's where she found her choice.
That rating came from.
Her choice of power.
What you said earlier.
To be the mistress instead.
I'm not going to be the one shitted on.
I'm going to do doing the shitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not me. I guess, all right, it's me now. It's me now just for the fact of how I can relate to it on... I always felt like I had to be the yes man. I always felt like I had to be this type of man. But on a sense of power...
It's protection. It's protection because it's like you're not putting yourself in that vulnerable state. It gives you an opportunity to still pull back if you need to pull back, or if you like think about it. You got the wife and the husband, and then you have the mistress. Now on the standard, unless he went and made like a second life with this woman, if this is just somebody that has an affair, who has more to lose? Who has more damage to go through in that 3-person dynamic? Most likely the husband and the wife. The mistress can just walk away. The person that's having the affair can just walk the hell away. They don't have nothing tying them down. Her father, Mitch, had kids and stuff and a wife. This mistress was just, that's
so booty. Taking this outside of Amy though, why put yourself in that situation?
What do you mean? Her father?
No, I'm saying taking we branching off of Amy now. Just taking this one line. Just in general, anybody. Anybody. Why put yourself in that situation of, I seen my parents do this, but for me to go off the actions of bet, I want to narrate my story to the different possibilities, but I'm still going to be enact with my quote unquote nature.
I think it's, to me, again, it speaks to a protective thing, because that's what, at least from how the song from the perspective that I'm getting from it is, if this is the example that you show me what dating is supposed to be like, well, then I'm going to protect myself at all costs. And
have a plan B.
And it seems like the one that can get the least affected, but still get what they want out of you at the end of the day, was the mistress part. So I feel that I'm destined to be the mistress to a married man, because you showed me as an example that dating is infidelity.
So it's better to be the side nigga instead of the main nigga.
There's no emotion. Even Pleasure said it. I'm boyfriend number 2.
Show this like that.
Yeah. Take tote. Hold on.
Hold it.
You better hold it.
Chill.
Nah, y'all.
But facts. Look, man. So that's where we coming off third opinions of line one,
more of like
one.
a protection. It's because think about it. A lot of our dating styles, a lot of the things that we all respond to is a reflection on something that we were shown, and to avoid it, that is our protective style. Some people. But you feel like once you start to get cornered in that relationship, you gotta, I guess, come out of that whatever side you portraying at the time. It's like damn, I lost it. What were you just saying? The protection? Yes, that part. So whenever you quote unquote protecting yourself, that's you saying, all right, bet, look, I ain't no bitch. Let me go find me somebody else to rebuttal on. And then for some people, it's being quiet, getting closed off. You may have a partner that wants to talk to you, but maybe from your protective nature, off what you were shown growing up, you may feel that when I speak, it causes more problems. So that's you choose to shut down. My main is 82%, but no, my main is 80%, but I go off and look for that 20% from somebody else, which I just want to. I want that 20% to be with this main percent, but like, there go your tug of war right there. So like, what was that thing on Tyler Perry where he said the something 20 rule, the 80-20 rule, the 30-20 rule? I don't remember. That just goes back to eating your cake and eating it too. It's still a selfish action. Okay. At the end of the day, of wanting to, like you said, like want that 80% to still be there, but you want to go hippity hop and go over and find what that 20% doing. But you realize that 20% probably has no depth or anything else that it's supplying you except for what you honestly. And this goes off to me because wait, you haven't seen Love Jones yet, right? I have. Okay, so you love basketball. So you saw Love Jones. What did he say at that damn table? It is a choice. Oh, damn, look, you really can't put me on the spot like that. I ain't seen that movie. Anyway, he tells people it's the he said they give up on the possibility or the inevitability. I forgot what he said, trying to sound all poetic and shit. Look, we're gonna rewatch it. Yeah, we're gonna rewatch it because that's a film that I can rewatch because I already dissected them for what it is, but it's still a good show. So check this. I want to go back to the verse where we could kind of connect the power sense of why she chose her father's mistress side of it. Yeah, why she chose that side. Instead of emulate. Exactly. All the stuff my mama went through. No, I'ma emulate all the shit my mama hate. Like she because she knows that her mom most likely did not favor the more promiscuous side of it. But if you think about it, and at least in her eyes, or at least what I can see from the lyrics, from my perspective, there is safety in being the mistress instead. There's less baggage. I'm getting what I want out of it. You getting what you want out of it. Ain't nobody in my corner being heard. Nobody begging you to be here. You choosing to be here. I can testify to that. Those actions are literally for the moment. Yeah. And you have to embrace those moments for that time and space of what it is and what it's portraying to be. Don't ever look at those moments on futuristic aspects because you're blind. You are really driven by lust. Exactly. That's no exactly what it is. In that, which is why you always have people that want to keep on to the portion that they are building longevity with or want to build longevity with, and then that's where, to me, the more selfish side comes out. And I feel like on the defense of that little sense of power is, I used to call it the Romeo and Juliet effect, the quote unquote love at first sight, the AKA. It was the first time I literally seen you. That's some bullshit. That is all lies. It's like now really, really embracing this dating phase and seeing interactions for what they are. Yes, that is so fucking book. That is so novel. Like Like, that's not real.
It's all caps. It's like
Big caps.
no factions beneath those lines. The fact that I used to live by that law and it worked on both parts. It succeeded on different experiences. But for me to grow in this aspect of dating now and seeing how important questions are, how important what you said, interviews. It's like free range interviews. It's nothing strict, but it's more so let's go sit down and talk about your beliefs, talk about my beliefs, and this and that and that and that.
Because if you fail to do that, that's when some people find that they jump in. To me, the way I would call it, because I had plenty of acquaintances and friends that would fall into what me and my best friend call being serial daters, which means every 2-3 months they had somebody new. And it's because they're too busy chasing, wanting to be in a relationship, wanting to be taken, wanting to have someone that they look past everything, and then they wonder why after talking to somebody for like 2 weeks and then deciding that they want to date, and then the layers start to unfold and they don't understand where they come from. Where if you took your time and got to actually know the person, and no one can, nobody can dictate people's pace. Some people do have the exception of maybe just meeting somebody for a week and they realize in 30 years they're still happily in love. But to me, that shit is very fucking rare. As rare as getting a very sparkly Pokemon card.
So take this. With being in that position of power, being in that space of I can't help but demonstrate my Freudian fate.
Demonstrate my Freudian.
When I say Freudian, like
she pronounces it Freudian.
Sound like some fruit.
It's not. But to me, let's look that up, because to me it sounds like inevitable fate. But I want to actually know. I don't want to just be like, yeah, that's what it is. No, we don't do that. We reads here.
Facts. But why you look that up? What I'm saying is, like, once you start to get in that corner space of you feel like now you got to be on the defensive of your quote unquote love at first sight, you go into the scene of how she say, well, my alibi for taking that direction of either or stealing your woman or your guy is the fact that history repeats itself, and those actions that the one that I seek power from fails to die.
Right.
So
I got the meaning. So Freudian. Matter of fact, let me see. Y'all probably won't be able to hear it, but sometimes Google be off. But let's see. Hold on. Maybe I can hear it from here from my little speakers. Hold on. Let me see if I can get Google to talk. Freudian. Relating to or influenced by Sigmund and Freud or Sigmund and Freud? I've heard both. And his methods of psychoanalysis, especially with reference to the importance of sexuality in human behavior. So I guess when she's using that word in that context, it's going towards her sexuality and its fate of how she would be. I remember even when I watched I don't know if you caught that, but there was like when they were interviewing her ex-husband Blake, when he said he would ask her why she was so promiscuous and stuff, and pretty much almost dated as casually as a man. Her example was who?
Her father.
And to show people underestimate the influence that a kid will actually see. Like I said, like from me watching my parents, and from my birth parents to watching my uncles and aunts, and even watching my parents with my stepmother and my dad, marriage did not look nice. I did not want to get married. I'm one of those people, I don't know what my wedding, if I get married, what my wedding's going to look like. I met girls in college and they all knew what colors they wanted. They knew when they wanted to get married, what type of ring. They came to me. I was like, I've never imagined that stuff, because to me, marriage didn't look like a fairy tale, like how some people most people view it like a fairy tale. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to get married.
Facts. It's always the rush. It's
right.
The rush
but because of my experience of watching the adults in my life with marriage, it didn't look like no damn walk in the park. It didn't look like nothing I wanted to fucking deal with at all. So from her influence of how her father gave her an example of how dating would be, made her make that choice of how her sexuality or her expression in sexuality or how she would date would inevitably turn out to be by her choice.
True. All facts. And going back to the definition of Freudian, you feel me? We gonna get this straight. I'm gonna get that straight. You feel me?
It's a new word. It's okay.
It goes back to how I believe she expressed it to be normalized as you see the importance of sexuality in human behavior. So she was like, she didn't see no resentment in her father's actions. She did not even doubt the facts of, no, she didn't even regret the facts of what he did in the route that he took.
I mean, she can't. She's not in control of whatever he does. And like she said, she can't.
She said that was normal. She said she was like, sex is normal whenever you just branch off and do what you do. So she can't blame him for that shit. So that was the quote unquote what Miss Winehouse said. So
that was her standard when it came to, like, her view on it when it came to people's sexuality. And
so that would complement these next lines of her saying, my alibi for taking your guy, history repeats itself, it fails to die. So like that's where I could really connect. That's a great transition from that word from the past line to explaining that next line. That's just let you know
influence.
How the narrating side of her was just
showing, like, from the influence that I had that can't help but demonstrate my Freudian fate. So shoot, girl, my alibi for taking your guys, like, shoot, history repeats itself. It's the influence. It's
blame my father. That's what it is. You're like, don't blame me, blame him.
Like that's the lessons that, or the example that she had gotten. And shoot, it even transcends to and this is just a side, even though we're going to focus on what is it about men, but think about In My Bed.
Dru Hill.
Dre, I'm talking about Amy Winehouse's In My Bed.
Shit. Facts. I'm about to say, what Dru Hill got to do with this?
Because remember how she portrayed in that one. She said, "Oh, it's you again. Sorry, this isn't a reunion again."
Oh, yeah. Facts.
She walked one dude out the hotel. One dude out the hotel, said bye, went back to her hotel room, and a new. Honestly, that was me, y'all. I'm sorry.
But so that with that song in great connection to this,
it was on the Frank album.
And animal aggression is my downfall. I don't care what you got, I want it all. So when I read those lines, I could legitly connect them to In My Bed, because reading those descriptions, she was just like, shit, fuck it.
Wish I could say it breaks my heart.
But it don't. It ain't shit. Like, and then this, I don't care about what you got. When you read those lines, it's not that don't sound materialistic.
No,
that sound like, oh, you got 2 kids, 3 kids, and a wife.
Tough titties. I was a kid. My dad did it.
Look, so. Oh God, I got a story for this in line. Last night was my father and mother's anniversary, so we went out to this.
Happy belated anniversary.
You feel me?
Sorry anniversary. Let me stop.
Man, it was a great Brazilian dinner.
Oh, you always like a Brazilian food?
Man, you remember I talked to the group and
I
want to
do that? Yeah.
This is literally down the street.
Oh, for real?
Yes, and it was so fucking amazing. I'm talking about the ambiance was great. The food was amazing, and like it was a great time. The family, my Big brother came through. But
but what happened?
Shit. There was this chick that she was our waitress, and she had an accent on her. I caught it. She was from Russia. And I asked her, and I was like, "Where you from? You got that accent?" She was like, "I'm from Russia," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's about the 5th person I literally met from Russia in my lifetime." And I love to branch off in conversation with them just because I'm really fond of the accent. And
one Russian ever.
Me and her was really vibing on the level of my peoples was making comments on it. It was like my mama like, "You need to stop flirting on our anniversary day. This is not what we came here for." I'm like, that is not what I'm doing. I'm just over here
interacting with somebody from a different type of life.
You feel me? My pop's over here like, "I see you, son." She over here looking back, smiling before she leave off. I'm like, man, look, I'm not trying to express this like that.
Probably trying to get a good tip.
You feel me? So I'm like,
girl, I was a server. Trust me, I know you will fake the phone to get a 20. Let me tell you. But no, y'all probably was really like, because you could catch a fake conversation, bro.
Facts. That's all it was. But it was the sense of she had a husband. She let me know she was down for getting like in contact with each other because she loved, quote unquote, the conversation.
Yeah.
She loved the interaction of just, I guess, the English tongue. And but she had a husband. And I was like, no, I highly respect that. I respect you. I wouldn't do that. But it was still
vibing.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna walk off. I'm gonna leave because you trying to take the direction of
even if she wasn't, but even still, like you know, you have the right to have like your.
You
morals.
Still down for getting the number though? Like
if I would.
No, I'm saying like that's what I'm questioning for her action. Like, you still down for getting the number?
If you realize that it's not going to, even if from the other party, if you realize that even the other party would not, if you even sense that the other party would not respect the platonic, then yeah, walk away. Because I had a situation like that as well, where I was really vibing, but it was just like I felt like it was somebody to mentally. Y'all know how I like to debate. Y'all know I love to do that. And I like to pick brains. Like, that's just me personally. And I had met...
Understatement.
What you mean?
Understatement. Continue.
Anyway. So, y'all, I like to dissect stuff. I don't ask me why. It's something I've always been this way since I was a kid. And there's not a lot of times that I can find people that can go toe to toe to me in the ring for long periods of time, because I like long-winded, like to keep going. But I had met someone, I remember at my old job, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, yeah, this is like, wow. And then he also was working on becoming a coach or some stuff. He was a cop. And we like just picking brain. I was like, oh yeah, like, you real cool peoples. He actually, and it was so crazy how fate works, because he tried to offer me like a little side job so he could pick my brain from a woman's perspective, but also probably have me go on his podcast. And this is like right before you offered me to be a part of your podcast. So I think the universe saw that it was something I was genuinely interested in. And even though I ended up walking away from that, you still showed up with your offer. But the guy, like, he was like, yeah, like, I could give you my information and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, cool. And I'm still on like my platonic stuff. And of course I've acknowledged that I am happily taken. I have a man. But then he switched the vibe and admitted that he was attracted to me. Immediately I was like, I'm throwing this number away. I was like, great, you ruined it. You ruined it. But that's just me with my standard of my moral code for myself. The moment I realize that somebody has some type of attraction with me, but I'm taken, and I'm like, no, because I trust myself, I'm not putting myself or my relationship at risk of because you got your feelings. You've already admitted all this stuff that you found attractive about me, and then you started talking about, oh, I can tell that you're open, like trying to gaslight me. First of all, never try to gaslight my actions and try to manipulate what I do and my behaviors of what I do. I know how I am. And the fact that I'm telling you, nope, I respect my relationship. No, thank you. He was like, so you mean to tell me if we was just sitting there and you and your man was having oh, cute. I like the poof balls. And you and your man was having problems and we sitting there doing like our stuff and I already see that we vibing and and you don't think something is gonna happen. And that's when I was like, okay, now that's disrespectful. And I'm like, okay, no, thank you. No, sir. Like, this is not going to happen. I was like, you will not be receiving a call or nothing like that. Thank you so much for the offer, but I respectfully decline because thank you for just pretty much ruining what could have been like a great opportunity. Now that you want to start trying to act like you can compete with my man. Another thing that gets, you know what like Peter Griffin said, you know what grinds my gears? When an average MFer want to sit there and act like,
now hold the hell on. How you gonna curse throughout this whole episode, but when it got down to M, motherfucker, you not gonna say
you know what? I was just talking.
No, we good.
I was just talking, but you know what?
MF.
No. He want me to be me since he want me to be me. That average motherfucker go sit there and get up in my face talking about like, I know I'm a very average looking man, and I know that I'm like, boy, if you don't go over there looking like a black Paul Blart, don't nobody want you. My man like runs circles around you. Like, boy, go sit. It's like, boy. But yeah, don't be entitled. Don't feel entitled to somebody's. Boy, that's not attractive at all. Like, get out of here.
Hey, look, that's all facts, no cap. This is the Vibes, a new wave. We'll be right back at you with the comment section part 2.
Bye.
And we are back, queens and kings. That was yours truly, Biana, with the intro of this portion of the Vibes.
A little bit of heavy metal for you guys. That's some Kill Switch Engage for you.
Just wait for the visuals, man. We building up to bring the visuals to your eyes as well as your ears.
It's gonna be a treat.
You feel me? You're talking about our personality through the microphones. Wait till y'all see the camera. But continuing from commentary part 1, we are about to get into this chorus, which will really be straightforward, as our late great Amy Winehouse kept it as straightforward as she did. She says, it's bricked up in my head, it's shoved under my bed, and I questioned myself again. Drew, what's the song called?
What is it about me?
And then she said, my destructive side has grown a mile wide, and I question myself again. What is it about men? So she doubled up ending that with the same question, self-track title, what is it about men? This chorus is, it's like she know what she doing.
Yeah, she's very self-aware. Like she's aware that it stays in her mind. It's kind of like shove it under my bed, kind of like my skeletons in my closet.
Facts.
And then I question myself again. What is it about you men? And then of course her destructive side has grown a mile wide. Like it's grown. It's gotten worse. Like her being self-sabotaging.
It was the sense of her questioning and the actions of, I'm gonna explore this to where she grown to be now.
Right.
My destructive side has grown a mile wide. She is uncontrollable.
See, to me, when I hear the destructive side, I think of, it's a way of self-sabotage.
So could that be where the vices of, not even diving into just her own personal vices, but just the vices of her drinking heavily?
I mean, perhaps it seemed like that was her preferred vice.
Yeah,
it seemed like that could be. Plus, the destructive side, it doesn't have to just. It's not necessarily just.
I'm not aiming it just towards.
Yeah. But I'm saying like it could be, maybe she finds herself in multiple repetitive situations when it comes to relations with her partners.
Facts.
And it's like, okay, well, if this is the think about it, a lot of us were brought up to be not only addicted to, but to expect toxic relationships and toxic interactions. Like, what's the stuff like? Even right now, I still just don't understand how we had to grasp the concept that, oh, that's love if y'all got like some toxicity. Like, if y'all fight all the time, that's love. If they show that they jealous all the time, that's love.
We talked about this on the last episode where it was the sense of if they leave but then come back, then you know it's real type shit. We said that on one of these episodes.
But see, that's so funny to me. Like, cause I even never grasped that concept growing up. When they'd be like, if they leave and they come back, that means it was meant to be. My issue is if you leave, you can't come back.
Dead ass.
So like that's it.
Whatever the adventure was, shit, I hope you found the main story.
Ain't no new life, ain't no restart, ain't no
new game.
Nah, nigga, nah, that's it.
Oh, you still got the same skill sets? Bet. I still don't want no new game.
That's so cute. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I feel the most excited when it's like if it works out that like when the relationship ends, I get a new phone.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
So I'm looking at this chorus, and I'm looking at the question, what is it about, man? And I'm putting myself in my own shoes, but seeing if somebody shot me the question, like Dre or Young Dre or just whoever, like, what is it about, man? And if I just had to give a direct answer to that,
from his perspective,
most definitely from my perspective, like as we see, like. We came to the conclusion that Amy knew exactly what she was doing just to portray the whole sense and cadence of the chorus. But just through my perspective of what is it about men? I'm not even thinking hard on this. This is not even a second thought, but just in my whole OP. Ego. It's a big sense of ego. Mm. It's a...
Would you say it stems from insecurity?
No. Depending on who you're looking at, not to everybody.
So, but when you say ego, what do you mean?
More so power. There's the male ego extends to many forms and elements, to where it's jealousy. There's like you said, insecurities. If we feel like we're it goes back to her sense, and if I'm been put in this corner, then my destructive side is gonna grow a mile wide. It's that sense of we know how to construct our power. We know which direction of emotion we want to show, and it's of you really seeing who's a great storyteller and who's not, because you can catch bullshit off the rip. But if you're a great storyteller, then you would extend it to the miles that she took her choices of how she expected a man to be, but through the eyes of her father, that's the route she took. So I'm just saying, like, it's so much power just within the male ego. Whenever you just hear that, quote unquote, I hear it all the time from Charlamagne the God, but it's always it's not on the defense, it's on the offense. Whenever somebody get caught slipping, that's where our slogan, black men don't cheat, is divided from black boys and men in a whole. So the male ego is a really hidden. You could divide the hidden aspect of it too, but it's hidden from like whoever you dealing with at the time. Some of it is really shown in the point to where like it ain't, you know exactly what the red flag is, and some, like I said, is constructed into the great narration of a story. So I guess that's my little input on what is it about men. About men. Like,
see, but for me, with the perspective that I get, especially seeing that my destructive side has grown a mile wide, and I question myself again, what is it about men? To me, it's about, what is it about the appeal or the validation from the other party that can affect me so? Like, what is it about? Think about it. When we date or when we interact, and especially if some of us put ourselves in a very vulnerable spot, especially when we're just dating and just learning and stuff, a lot of times we could take what another person does to heart, and we could take it very personally, and it could affect how we view ourselves. It can affect how we genuinely feel. So you could be having a disagreement with the opposite sex or with your partner, and it can make you feel less than, or it can build you up, or it can build you down. It can make you feel like something's wrong with me, or like, what is it about me interacting with you that affects how I view myself and how I go about stuff? Or what is it about you that is encouraging me with my destructive behaviors?
That was legitimately my last relationship in all caps. I'm talking about,
like, how can you have this much effect on me?
Facts. And I held that from that relationship to the relationship I had with my birth mama. It was so controlling on levels to where I would get mad. I would get pissed whenever a name would just be brought up, or just a situation would just hit my head, and then I'm just like, damn, that controllable side is just really so strong, until you just have that sense of you don't have to deal with that. You could really reconstruct that.
Take your power back.
Facts. Nobody should really get you that mad or angry, or take you out of that element of you need to act this different way. You need to act like a persona and not act like yourself.
You should be 100% genuinely yourself.
Oh, facts, no cap.
No.
I'm not ending it though. I know that might have been like the slogan of me ending this whole episode, but I'm not. We good. So but legitly though, that was great. Straightforward with the chorus. Hopping in verse 2, which I did not go back and listen to. You feel me? But we good. We're gonna keep it going and go through it as we fit. So she says, how you go ahead and start it out, Drew. This show with your artist.
I'm nurturing. I just wanna do my thing, and I take the wrong man as naturally as I sing.
And that was Beyonce coming straight out of Louisiana. You feel me? Give it up. Woo! But big facts. She says, I'm nurturing. I just want to do my thing, and I take the wrong man as naturally as I sing.
Now, how many of us can say that in the dating scene, that we felt like we just keep getting the wrong ones, or we just wasn't finding anyone that was compatible with us? Just simply, I feel like that's a part of like the dating style. But then that also goes back to
you can't
how
compare
self-aware.
that to now. I mean, you can't compare this dating style now into just what she talking about back then. Back then, there was more so great communication.
Sir.
It was. You gotta say it was.
No.
You didn't have no social media to hide behind. You didn't have,
which made it easier for people to lie. You couldn't post shit.
I would have took the straight up live beside the Instagram post in the DMs, because how the anxiety you get from waiting on a DM response, or for somebody to match you on Tinder.
Because we are aware that we are in a more instant gratification lifestyle. Like, they understood that they had to wait, but at the same time, they got plenty of area to hide and to put a little bit more under the rug. So I don't feel like, I feel like communication still could have sucked. Obviously it did, if I'm your mistress and your wife didn't know.
That's his fault for getting caught. So
like, he's still trying to whatever.
And I take the wrong man as naturally as I sing.
Like, to her, it's so easy. Like, you can just, like, the wrong man just happens to fall in my lap. Like, I could just open my mouth and sing. Like, shit, man. The wrong match for me just appears. And that's how she felt in that.
How far would that go?
What do you mean?
Like, the wrong man accidentally, just naturally. I guess.
Accidentally.
I mean, I don't know.
You know, accidentally, like you purposely approach.
No,
me.
you could say an accident because if it's the wrong man, but then
oops, I didn't mean to date you. How that sound, Dre? No accidental relationship. No. How the fuck? No. How the fuck you accidentally find the wrong man? No,
like you not even in a relationship, you dating. That's what I'm getting from it. She's saying, and I'll take the wrong man as naturally as I sing. Like so I'm taking it as like she courting. Like
to me, it's like or it's just her realizing that it's just somebody that's not right for her, somebody that's not good for her. You could pick the wrong fuck buddy.
I don't believe in that.
Bullshit.
That's all cap.
How's that cap?
It is.
You can either pick somebody.
No.
No, I'm gonna break it down. Now you can either pick somebody that like you like. Okay, I just want a fuck buddy, but they trying to coerce you into being in a relationship, or vice versa. Or you can get you a stalker, or you can end up getting you somebody that sucks at fucking. God. Yeah, you can get the wrong partner in fuck buddy.
That's so weird. It ain't that straightforward. I can't.
Bullshit. I've kicked people out for that.
I've tried
to kick somebody else because the sex sucks.
No. Oh God. I mean, I'm at least nice. Like, I mean, like, man. I mean, like.
I mean, you ain't gotta be like you're a horrible way.
I'd be like C+. She be like, she questioned like C+. I'd be like, yeah.
You be grading. Bitch.
I don't give them an example of like I don't give the definition of just my grading.
You be like a golden star.
No, you know you can. It just it's random. I get up at the time and then I just leave, but then I just all right. C+. And then I just go.
What the fuck? That's such a dick. Like, dude. Like, I guess I'm probably not any better.
When you hear inside jokes, I mean, it's my type of inside joke. Like, to myself.
You be calling them C+ in their face, and they don't even be knowing.
I mean, if you're an A+, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just be like, maybe.
I just say go home. I just say go home, and when you realize I don't text you, or I just use you for
like, was it me? But like, no, it's not.
My thing is like, first of all, you shouldn't be worrying about is it you, is it me, because we ain't in that type of situation. This is just body to body. That's all it is, and your body to body. See,
if it's that straightforward, then it is what it is.
Like, go find you somebody else that think them little 3 pumps do something.
I gotta keep on trying. Go. Love. God damn. Legitly Roddy. But no, fact, all facts, no cap. They say she comes back to say it's like when I look at this on, because I'm a poet, I write poems. Y'all heard me come through on the podcast once or twice. And I love to juggle my words. I love to say one line, but then double back with the same line, but like with a whole different twisted meaning.
You put your thing down, twist it, and reverse it.
I was at a legit standstill, but I just had to finish that off.
You knew it.
Facts. And I'm looking at these next lines, but she come through and say, and I'll save my tears for uncovering my fears, our behavioral patterns that stick over the years.
Mm-hmm. So to me, that definitely sounds like, at the end of the day, as much as a protective shield that I have this as much as a facade that I give, I know that if I cry, that's going to expose my true feelings of fear of how this has turned out or how this will turn out.
That's
of
me
realizing that these behavioral patterns are still here.
Facts. That's me standing on the statement that you gave, talking about I'm not going to be the one being shitted on. I'm going to be the one doing the shitting. So it's like that's her really making that acknowledgement strong as what it is.
Yeah.
So like I said, I feel like,
because think about it, what's that one quote that they pretty much almost write every ruler or every king to say. I even had it in Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. What does every ruler say? It is better to what?
Cut his head. I mean, not cut his head.
It is better to be feared.
Facts.
Than it is to be loved. It is better to be strong than it is to be soft.
It's better to be feared than to be loved. Once upon a time, I'm really like.
Not long ago. Damn. And I'm admitting it. Let me stop.
That was like legitimately junior year. Like, but nah. Amazon days. I used to work for Amazon, and there was this chick from California. I called her Cali, and it was a vibe. It was like a dead ass vibe. The connection was there. Eye contact was there. It's like it was more so a soul connection, and the conversation branched off to what it was, texting, all that, and I felt like this is where I legitimately started to manifest, just being straightforward, just saying what the fuck I wanted. And I was so straightforward with her. And that moment of me being straightforward was like, we met each other like at the gas station to fill up the tanks for the delivery route. And we right there, like eye to eye, really just standing as one. And like we talking, I'm telling him like, well, look, this is what I want. This is how I see me directing my life, and this and that and this and that. And it looked like she was all forward, but the way she was kind of embracing it was like, oh, you really bout it. And I guess she thought I was one of them. I'm down I guess I'm DTF type of dude. And because I think she ghosted me after I came straight out forward with her like that. But
what did you come forward with?
I was just saying, look, I'm not here to play no games. I like you. And I gave her that whole rip. I was like, this is what I see for myself. Like, I want to do this, that, and that. And like, I'm telling her, like, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine. That whole line. So I'm telling her basically what my intentions are, giving her my whole intentions.
Was it more on a serious intention or on a fuck?
Serious.
Okay.
No, hell no. I'm not the nigga to just. No, I don't know how to do that shit. And then if I ever did try to do that shit, I would legitly fail on levels of either I would catch feelings trying to quote unquote flirt, because I'm a natural flirt whenever I'm just out in public talking to whoever I come across. And that part. And
I think the way I didn't catch feelings was like, you had a limited time within my space. We didn't hang out. We didn't do that shit.
No, cause I don't know. I ain't never get the aspect of like one-offs. Like I'm not no one-off nigga.
What you mean one-off?
Like I get I'm not saying one night stands, but
I don't do one night stands. I can't. I can't. I have to know you. That's why like we got the interview process, and especially if we have like something in common that's like maybe we both like anime, so maybe like the times that we chill, I know we can clown like dead ass. I treated them like my bros. Like it was just like, bruh, like man, you play this game, man, you eat this food, man. Even
that's so weird. That's weird, man.
I can't even explain it, but I did. I treated them like bros. And it's like I would find a mutual thing especially if I really vibed with you. I would find like a mutual thing that we both liked, and then we both could like probably interact with that while you're there, and then like you go on about your business. But like, did they ever be like, let's go do this? I'd be like, oh no, because that's not what we are. Nah.
But for the other route of that, for the other route of that invitation and then the acceptance, it's like that's so fucking movie shit. That's some movie shit. Like you said, like some shit early in the episode that was like the Romeo and Juliet effect.
Yeah, that line ass shit.
Yeah, so you said that's like some fairy tale movie shit. Like that's how I feel like that situation is.
Mine? Like
what
I described? Or what you described?
The one night stand situations. Like,
Oh,
I see that in more so movies and
Well,
shit. Like,
I know people that do. When you talk about one night stands that in the movie it works out, or one night stands where one night stands just happen.
That, and I guess when I see the brother and sister effect between just non-consensual individuals, it's like I legitimately see it as that. I just legitimately see it as like, oh yeah, that's just the homie type shit. I ain't trying to see it as, oh, that's the homie that I'm smashing type shit. Like,
it's so bad because like that's how like I saw.
Oh my god!
Like, cause I'm the homie, but we smash, but we the homie though. And it's like, what's up? And they'd be like, bro, you coming? I'm like, yeah. Shit, they would come to me.
I would like Skin God Drake recently said on the track. I know them type of hugs because them the type of hugs that I give to women that I used to. So
I used to dap dudes.
That's.
I dab. I know. Okay, there were some that still got like some hugs, but I ain't gonna lie. Majority of the time, I'd be like, "Whatever, bro." Dab, like it was like a dab. I was legit.
See,
like,
I'm the type of nigga
bros.
that would feel straight friend zone. I would be like, I bet.
But we smacked. But
that's no. Like, man, that's.
But I can't explain it. But I must have just had something that just. I was able to put like what this like this is what it is. This is what it gonna be. Watch a little anime, play a little game. Stuff like that. And it's like we pretty much knew like, nah, we're gonna go out to dinner. Nah, but you on your way over here on appointment night, you can stop and give me some Taco Bell though. Like, I'd appreciate that a lot. Like,
I am a whole victim. Mine was always, can you go to McDonald's? You know,
I never
this
asked.
little one No.
See, I wasn't like that. I never asked. I never was like, hey, can you stop? Like, it's like they was like, hey man, I'm about to get something to eat. Oh, bro, I'm hungry. He's like, you want some? Yeah, bro, give me some Taco Bell. Give me some McDonald's. Give me some Chinese food. Like,
I know y'all out there saying right now, Black Gandalf, nigga, you was used, nigga. You was that's what you describing right now. Like, you know what? I feel that.
I really can't explain it to some people. Like, I legit just had like some type of like the bro friendship with mine was the homies. Mine legit was like the homies.
She say he just the homie.
No, like they wasn't just. That's just what the dynamic was. There was no expectations or nothing like that. We just knew he was cool. Like we knew if we liked anime, games, books, whatever, and we just knew what it was. And it wasn't like, say you want to come hang out with me, and nah, it wasn't none of that. Well, none of that. Ain't no why you trying to develop? Ain't nothing supposed to be building here. It's kind of like we know what it is. Probably have like some inside jokes. Maybe just text each other like, that shit funny, and then go back to your life. Like, and if it fell off, then it fell off. Like I never had my feelings hurt. I don't know if they had their feelings hurt. I don't care.
Check this out, Queens and Kings, wrapping up this portion of commentary part 2, which was the last of this track choice of the evening, which this track only had 2 verses to elaborate off of, which were great topics of discussion on the branch off level. But to close it off with her outro, she says, oh, it breaks up in my head and it's shoved under my bed. And I question myself again, what is it about men? It's the whole chorus. Just an outro. That's look, I'm reading verbatim on what I see. But fast, this is a wrap up of commentary section. If you really like what you heard on this episode, please give us a like, share. We got subscribe, you feel me? Look, we on Spotify right now. We on Anchor FM. But we will soon branch off individuals like we said earlier in this episode. Bianna, what's popping? What you got for them while we end this?
What I got what?
I say what you got for the Queens and Kings while we end this episode.
What you mean what I got for them?
I don't know, like what you got going on in the world of Bianna.
Oh, Bianna got a job. If I didn't mention that earlier, I think I did though. But yeah, Biana got a job. Biana got a job. He's still calling me Biana. Biana got a job, so she can continue to invest. We're all investing and growing, and just staying on it, and everything I feel is, at least for me, is getting a bit back on track. I'm feeling good. I've been feeling really, really good lately. And it's not even no explanation. I'm also like really big in my perviness right now. I've been bombarding the hyenas with my questions of sexuality as well as BDSM and stuff that they into. So yeah, I've been, just feeling good and getting back on track and enjoying these blessings and just, being a pervert. What about you?
That's all raps. That's all facts, no cap.
So he's not gonna share. He's just gonna let me just end on a no soy. I'm just being a pervert.
Nah, but to be honest, shit, I just been, I don't know, I feel like I expressed myself earlier, giving them a little taste of really how this content creative lifestyle could really just like,
it can burn you out.
It could do all that.
It can burn, especially when you're doing a lot and you have a lot of goals. But that's the practice that you also got to have with being gentle with oneself, because you are one person, and you are the artist, you are the editor, you are the director, you are the marketing team, you are everything. And it's okay to treat yourself like a human when you need to take a break. It's okay to feel burnt out. It's all right. Find joy in the journey.
And that was your positive note of this episode, Queens and Kings. That's all facts, no caps. We really enjoyed y'all this evening.
Yes.
Big facts. Relevancy. I have no clue on what the next episode will be based on, but it will be relevant to the times.
Yes, sir.
This is the Vibes and the Way.